Hello, it's Big Bopper here with another Malifaux batrep. This is my second M2E game that I've put on YouTube. And today it's Pandora versus Lilith. It's the first time I've ever had a Neverborn versus Neverborn. I was using Lilith. Our strategy was Reckoning. And so I took Lilith with Wicked Mistress, Beck and Malifaux, Living Blades, 2 Terratots. I had Barbaros with Obsidian Talons, a Blackblood Shaman, Tuco, and a Mature Nephilim. For my schemes, I chose Announced Breakthrough and Announced Entourage on Barbaros. I thought, if I can get a tot to lay some markers, and if I can get Barbaros up into his zone, then that's 6 victory points that he's going to have to try and stop me on. I'm a bit scared about going up against Lilith, against Pandora, because of all the willpower stuff she can do. So I was hoping my forest could keep her at bay. Here's Pandora. It's quite a standard list for her of woe. So it's Pandora, and she took Food State, Box Opens, and Cry for Me as her upgrade. She's got Candy there with Fear's Given Form. There's 2 Sorrows. Lord Chompy is the Poltergeist. Teddy and Baby Cade with Depression upgrade. So quite a good crew. I was very worried about the Poltergeist with the negative flips, and of course the Misery from the Sorrows. If I got any of my melee models caught in that web, they would very quickly melt away. He took for his scheme Line in the Sand unannounced and Protect Territory unannounced. Would only get a maximum of 8 points if everything worked well for him, but the advantage of that was it was a complete mystery to me what he was trying to do until a few turns into the game. So it looks like we're shaping up to be a very interesting game from the get-go. And here is our deployment. I won deployment and chose for him to go first, and he chose the other side. So as you can see, there's Terratot 1. Terratot's in front of the Black Shaman next to Lilith behind the forest there. I've got the Mature and Barbaros hanging out behind that rock, and I've got Tuco up near that that old Colosseum type building. From the Shadows is good, but I didn't want him too far forward because then he'd just get mobbed by all those willpower duels. But I wanted to have him out a bit that he could maybe cause some trouble turn 2. I really didn't have a solid plan, and I'm still working on how to get the best out of Tuco. And of course, being a playtest model, rules could change anyway, although he looks pretty settled to me. I should mention now in this video that I forgot to take photos of turn 2, so I'll just have a filler picture there and I'll fill in what happened. A bit of an idiot moment on my part. My opponent's deployment, he was right up on the line, ready for the starter's gun to go. Very keen, I think, to push into the centre and try and form a dominating position, and then hopefully to suck some of my models in and just wreck them with all these willpower duels. So Candy's right out on the left. She was targeted to do a bit of Line in the Sand stuff. Poltergeist, 2 Sorrows, Pandora, Baby Cade. So they were holding the centre position there. And I'll have a photo of Teddy in a moment, way out on my left, his right, holding a flank. And that's where I had my Terratots, and I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to run myself up there until Teddy somehow gets out of the way. But I was also aware, being an Everborn player myself, of the Where's Teddy ability from Baby Cade. So Cade could quickly get to that area too and push Teddy up. So I knew to be cautious in my movements, and if I could somehow draw Teddy away, that would be great. That did happen, but it wasn't from any plan on my part. It wasn't some great mastermind. So as you can see, this is the end of turn 1. Lilith has already used Entangling Shadows on a Sorrow. She's one of my last models to activate, and teleported the Sorrow to her and teleported Tuco to where the Sorrow was. What I didn't realise is that Teddy was in range to walk and do his gobble him up, and I failed the duel on that, and Tuco got pounded in the face and pushed right into the middle of his crew. So it really wasn't a great trade. I was kicking myself a bit, but well done to my opponent. I didn't see that coming. Both my tots are ready to run up that flank. The Blackblood Shaman's going to stay near Lilith. Maybe have one of the tots hang around, see if I can grow him. I really wasn't sure how things were going to work out. And then as you can see, Tuco's in trouble. You'll see at the top. I'll talk about that later. But Barbaros and the Mature Nephilim ran up to the right-hand side. The mature Nephilim unfortunately got hit by inside on Pandora. That plastic in front of her is the forest, so she had to maneuver a bit to get in range. And she couldn't quite get to within 3 inches to do self-loathing, and I don't have any ranged attack for self-harming, so I was pretty happy with that. And, you know, most of the time I was going to try and use Illusionary Forest just to block her off from vision of most of my crew. But what's annoying is that that mature Nephilim is inside, so he can choose when I activate it, which is a ton of control, as I'll explain in turn 2. So here we are, turn 1. Yes, Tuco's in real trouble. He got pushed there by Teddy, and then he did his 0 to push Teddy away, and I did a melee strike, a couple of melee attacks, hit the Sorrow once, did 1 wound to it. But I'm within Pandora's engagement range. As you can see, there's a Poltergeist, a Sorrow, Candy, and Cade. And Tuco bled a little black blood over Teddy, but yeah, he's in a real mess. So I was kicking myself. I was happy that I pulled the Sorrow out of the crew, and my plan was to use her Lilith's Transfixing Gaze or her Entangled Shadows to try and isolate his models and then mob them. I didn't want to be sending my melee hitters into that well of pain, as Pandora could just quickly pull them apart with self-loathing and, you know, the extra damage from Misery and Cade that can jump in and stab you. Yeah, it's really awful. As you can see, that's where I've pushed Teddy to. I tell you what, with his Goblin Up trigger, when he gets it off, it's only a casting of 4 and it's against willpower, but I didn't have any good cards at the time. I already used them to resist a few willpower duels from Pandora onto the mature. And, you know, the positive strikes to hit and to damage is just nasty. I'm just glad that he didn't get Flurry. Anyway, this is turn 2 filler, so I'll quickly fill you on what happened in turn 2. Teddy activated first and moved in on Tuco and just wrecked him. He then told me my mature Nephilim has to go, so I actually flew him away to the left where Lilith was on turn 1, because I didn't really want to move into Pandora then, maybe kill something and then have Pandora kill and get a point for Reckoning. Sorrow then activated, the one that was near Lilith, and said Misery loves company twice, and it ended next to Barbaros, who then pushed it and hit it, and the Black Blood Shaman killed it off with Black Blood Pustule twice on Barbaros. So that was 1 kill to me. Both my Terratots, well, one of my Terratots sprinted up the left flank because Teddy was now further towards the centre. Cade moved over and lured the Terratot. Then Lilith moved up. Transfixing Gaze on Cade, got him within range, hit him once for 3 damage. And I moved the forest to hamper Pandora, and then Pandora incited Barbaros. So this is the end of turn 3. As you can see, Cade got away. He won initiative, and he just did the Where Teddy to teleport towards Teddy. So now Teddy moved out to the centre, and again, he incited Barbaros, and so I moved him 3 towards the centre. I didn't want to go into that well of pain. Then Lilith activated, and Entangling Shadows, swapping Barbaros with Teddy. Teddy then got into melee with Lilith. She had 1 attack and did some wounds. And then my mature Nephilim charged up and killed Teddy with 2 attacks. So Teddy was out of the picture, and Barbaros was almost in my opponent's deployment zone. So I was very, very happy about that. My other Terratot hid in the forest. My Black Blood Shaman moved up next to Lilith, and Lilith put the forest again in front of Pandora, so she had a hard time manoeuvring around. Pandora normally have to waste a move to actually see a model to then try and incite. As you can see, there's Barbaros and the Tot. The Tot's already dropped 1 scheme marker. It's just covered by the roof of that building. And I'm just going to try and get as many claim markers, breakthrough markers as I possibly can, and hide Barbaros so he lives, and hopefully I get my 6 victory points. We were finding with Reckoning, we were only killing at the most 1 model a turn of each other's because I was playing such a standoff game and he couldn't quite get to me. It was very hard to kill 2 models at a time. I was annoyed that when the mature Nephilim charged and killed Teddy, I could have actually pushed. If I positioned my mature Nephilim better, I could have pushed Teddy a bit with the Tomes trigger. Lilith would have got an automatic strike with a sword from the push, and then, you know, the mature Nephilim would have been able to charge something else. So here we go, turn 4. My mature Nephilim, I decide, I'm going to throw it in, try and take care of Baby Cade, but with Baby Cade's defense 7, I missed twice, and then Pandora just went to town on him, moved the Sorrow in range and used the Poltergeist in range for negative flips, and he was dead by the end of that turn. And that's what happens when you move a melee beatstick into that well of pain. That green marker there is actually representing a corpse counter. It's actually, they're made by Urban Lasercraft. They're really pretty cool. I've got it from a Reza set, and I've got some Neverborn stuff coming. And now we're jumping over to turn 5. I'm sorry this is going really quick. I only took one photo of turn 4. Suffice to say, Barbaros and the Terratite hid behind a rock. So in turn 5, Pandora put up a illusionary forest to block off, no, Lilith did, to block off Pandora and Baby Cade. I then charged in and killed Cade. And so this is Pandora, Lilith the showdown between Lilith and Pandora. So it was great killing Baby Cade, and I thought I've just got to try and get Lilith in there to hold Pandora up so she cannot get to my guys that are scoring me points. I'm pretty sure that Lilith was in trouble, and as it is, you'll see in a tick that, yeah, it was pretty bad for her, because Pandora hadn't yet activated. She'd moved to there the turn before. And I was hoping, I was gambling that the odds would work in my favour and there wouldn't be a turn 6 and that Lilith's sacrifice would not be in vain. So as you can see, that corpse counter is representing Lilith. Yeah, he moved the Poltergeist in, and with the negative flips on self-loathing, Lilith just hacked herself to bits. Did a bit of black blood damage to Pandora, but she was still on 8 wounds or something ridiculous like that. I moved the Terratite in to do a bit of damage to the Poltergeist, because I'd already killed Cade. I thought if I killed the Poltergeist, hey, I could actually get a point for Reckoning. But I was trying to use a corpse counter to grow the tot, but I was just out of range, so I couldn't do it. So this is turn 5, safe. So there's 2 more claim markers that the tot's laid down. So I've got 3 breakthrough tokens, and Barbaros is hiding behind that rock, hoping that evil woman can't gain a line of sight on him. And, you know, he's giving me 3 victory points there, so I was really hoping the game would end there, and thankfully it did. So sorry it's a bit rushed and a bit confused. I forgot to take photos at key moments, but apologies. I'm sure, I thought, well, I might as well put it up, and, you know, if people get annoyed with it, they get annoyed with it. So post-game I won 6-0. My opponent was pressured a bit, and he abandoned his schemes. He actually thought he got 2 points on a line in the sand, but if you don't announce it, you need to get down 4 markers, and he didn't realise that. So it was a win. Fun crew as always. I'm really enjoying Lilith's control. Really, the illusionary forest helped me to keep Pandora hampered. The Black Blood Shaman with his Black Blood Pustule is fine. Terratots are great. Tuco, well, I used him crappily, and so he died horribly. Mature Nephilim was great, killing off Teddy until he got Pandora. So anyway, it was a fun game. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to get a few more games in and get it up on YouTube. As you can see, it's a new Lilith box set, and it's really nice. I enjoy painting it, and it's, yeah, plastics are great. See you guys.